friends, and welcome to episode 2 of our Christmas decorating series for 2024. The husband took the girls out with him to run some pre-Thanksgiving errands, so that means I have the house to myself, except for the pets, and we're gonna decorate the kitchen for Christmas. Y'all, the kitchen is the heart of the home, and that means that that's where we spend the majority of our time. So I really want to make that space extra magical. This year, I'm going to be doing something I've never done before, and I'm going to be adding my family's Christmas village into the kitchen. We don't have a ton of counter space, so some people might think that's a little odd that I want to put that on display there, but hear me out. It's kind of tucked in the corners, and I think it's going to be just fine. And those are pieces that have been passed down to me from my grandparents and my mom and dad. And I want to be able to enjoy them in the room that I spend the most time, and that's the kitchen. I have such vivid memories of the Christmas village that my grandparents set up in their, they called it an Arizona room, but it was basically like their living room. And my favorite piece that they had was this ice skating rink. And the little kids actually skated around the ice skating rink in little figure eights. And I was mesmerized by it as a little girl. I would sit there and just watch it for hours. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Sadly though, that is one of the Christmas village pieces that I don't know what happened to it. I never ended up getting to get it. As y'all know, I am an only child and an only grandchild, so any of the family heirloom items that I wanted to have, they were all mine. But for some reason, that one just didn't end up making the trip back to Texas with us, and that makes me a little bit sad. But I also have memories of the Christmas villages that my mom and dad set up. And in their retirement, my dad went all out. They had a game table behind their sofa, and he completely covered it, including a big locomotive train. And it was so magical. I used to love going to visit them at Christmas time and seeing it all set up. You could tell that my dad put so much love and attention and detail into it. I guess I never really thought about it before, but maybe I get my detail orientedness. I'm detail oriented because of my dad. Yeah, I am not able to speak today apparently. But basically, the plan for the kitchen is to immerse it in as much Christmas nostalgia as I possibly can to make it as magical as I possibly can for my little family.
Nostalgia is such a powerful force, especially during the holidays. Whether it's nostalgia for your own childhood or maybe for when your kids were small. Nostalgia can be incredibly comforting when the holidays are difficult. I've now lost both of my parents and both sets of grandparents, so the holidays are always going to be a tad bittersweet. I'm blessed to be surrounded by many items that graced their homes all year long, but no time do I feel their presence more than at the holidays. I'm always searching for new ways to keep their memories alive, like displaying their Christmas village pieces and putting out my grandma's beloved porcelain nativity scene. I also know that not everyone is so fortunate, and for many, nostalgia is found more in traditions and recreating core childhood memories more than it is about a physical item. As our girls get older, I've been thinking a lot about the traditions that will give them that sense of nostalgia when they have their own families. Will it be doing Christmas puzzles around the dining table, or decorating the tree together while drinking hot cocoa, or watching The Holiday and all of our favorite classic Christmas movies, or maybe driving around looking at Christmas lights? As much as I love making our home magical this time of year, deep down, I know it's going to be the time that we spend together that they're going to remember the most.
If you were watching last week, I mentioned in passing in that video that the overall theme for our home this Christmas is a North Pole Cottage. And you might be wondering how I came up with that. So let me tell you. A couple of years ago, I thrifted this Thomas Kincaid print. It's entitled Stone Hearth Hutch. My initial thought when I saw it was that it was the coziest Christmas cottage I'd ever seen, and it just had to be somewhere deep within the forests of the North Pole. And that is how I came up with my inspiration. Everything that I am doing this year is centered around this print, and thinking and imagining what the inside of that house must look like, how cozy it must be. It has to be the most festive Christmas house you've ever seen. So that is where all of my inspiration this Christmas is coming from.
Last year, I tried out the viral garland hanging technique where you use a tension rod and then swag your garlands around it. I knew that I wanted to use this same technique again this year because it worked so well above our kitchen window. But I also knew that I wanted to try something just a bit different. So instead of using a traditional garland, I grabbed these large frosted pine and berry picks that I've been collecting over the years from Hobby Lobby, and a bag of cable ties to create my own garland effect over the kitchen window. I believe I ended up using 6 picks to cover the length of the tension rod, making sure to overlap them so that the brown stems would remain hidden. I will say though that the only thing I would do differently is I would have used a longer cable tie. The ones that I picked up at Walmart were pretty short and made it a bit awkward the further along I got, especially when I was trying to connect more than one pick to the tension rod. In the end, though, I highly recommend using this technique. It's great for doorways too. I've even seen where people will take sturdier tension rods and put two of them together to span a larger doorway. It's such an easy way to make a beautiful Christmas statement without putting holes in your wall or fussing with command strips that may or may not hold and can get a bit pricey.
Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you a little bit of Christmas inspiration now that Thanksgiving is officially behind us. I still have plenty of decorating content left to come. I'm not sure whether or not we'll be doing the dining room or the living room next week. That is yet to be determined. I am a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl around here. I know a lot of creators plan their whole month out extensively, and I am just not the one. I kind of just go where my inspiration takes me and let the chips fall where they may. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for being here. I absolutely love sharing our home with you each and every week, and I hope you enjoy taking these little glimpses around our home with me. So until next week, y'all, bye now.